I'm Jake Sloan, and you're listening to the Hillbilly broadcast. One of the best radio shows on the radio.
I didn't know we had a radio show.
Oh, we do.
That's what I was wondering too. I'm like, I don't think we're on the radio yet. But
Oh, not yet.
On the radio.
He's just a
We're on our
dreamer.
way.
He's a dreamer. That's what he is. Yes.
I want to say thank you, Jake, even though we're not on the radio, bud, but we sure do appreciate it.
We do.
Yes.
We do. He's a kind feller.
He's a very kind fella. Jake's turned into a bit of a fan, I do believe, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Yes.
First of all, is this thing on? I forgot to say.
Oh, dude. You forgot to say. He forgot to say.
Jake Sloan stole my thunder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Go
volume.
ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
Huh?
Go ahead and do it, man. You got to do it.
I just did.
I did not hear that.
How high are you right now, Kanan?
Volume.
Just a little bit.
And then John stole my I can't get enough volume slogan, so I'm out of a job.
You just lost it. You lost it.
Yep. And I turned it into Valium, so.
Valium.
Phil wants enough Valium.
All right, we're still working through some technical difficulties here.
Getting all reset.
We're still trying to learn this thing. We'll go ahead and let you know who we got here. We're back to the regular crew this time. We don't have any guest hosts. Byron's not with us this time.
We will thrive.
Where's it at? Where's it at? There it is.
Stop.
There it is.
I knew it had to be there somewhere. Oh, can I just say right off the top how much fun that was to have Byron on the show last time?
Yes.
Byron,
Yeah, that was really
I'll tell
cool.
you what, bud. If you're listening to this one, which I don't know if you will after the last one, but we want to have you back kind of on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah, I'm in with that.
You
That'd
fit
be
in
cool.
perfect.
Yeah,
Byron
that'd be
was
cool.
Byron was very good. Very good.
that would be cool.
All right, so who we have here is here in West Virginia. We got my wife. She likes the color red so much she wears it on her head. We got Missy. Oh, there it is. We got he's driving around putting out old flames. He's the fireman. Yes, that's his My brother John. My brother
Fine.
John. Over in Indiana, we got Kanan. We know you've seen him in a lot of things. He's done a lot of. He's had a lot of projects. Probably what you've seen him is standing on a corner holding a sign. You probably gave him $10 in the past week or so.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, man, that really helped me through this week. I'm not gonna lie.
You bought groceries for Jack.
That's right. That's right. Had to feed the family this week.
We got Kanan Heskett over there, and then of course the queen of road rage herself, Mariah Heskett.
Yes.
And that's all we got today. That's the cast. Which it almost seems like we're missing somebody because
You didn't announce yourself.
somebody.
Looks like the guy that ate Scott Grover, my brother.
Yeah.
I'll handle that introduction any day.
Yes.
There was how many times in the past that we've had. You see, the first episode we did was just me, John, and Kanan, and then
I think that's how it started out.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was.
wasn't it by the time it ended, we had like 8 people?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I jumped in. And
yes,
then
that's right.
Yeah,
Then
by the
Missy
time we was
jumped in.
done, we had, I think, 7 or 8 people.
My parents
then-
were with it too.
Yeah, and then your parents jumped
Yeah.
in.
Well, your
Yeah.
mom and dad
That-
really got involved in the second one.
Yeah, the second
Okay.
one's when they really
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
in, but they were sitting in on the first one for the first
Yes.
little bit. Or,
They-
I'm sorry, the last
When-
little bit.
When I'm back down in West Virginia, I would actually like to call around that table again and do the same thing. That was a lot of fun.
That
Oh,
was fun.
absolutely it was.
That was fun.
We have our table that we podcast on, and I think it'd be really awesome if we all started leaving our initials on it. Just because
Somebody does that. I
Yeah,
can't
I
think
don't
of
know
who
who
it
it
is.
was either, but I think it'd be so awesome to have every single person that we've
That would be really
interviewed
cool.
to sign the table, because you're gonna have big people coming on soon, and if they get really popular, this is gonna be our money piece right here.
And actually, I mean, I won't put out any names, but we actually do have some bigger people coming on,
Yes.
which I'm really excited about.
Yes, me
Well,
too.
we can go ahead and say who's going to be on next week. We got the sheriff of Barber County, Mr. Brett Carpenter, coming on
Yes.
next week.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
That is
That's
going to
cool.
be a lot of fun.
And not only was he a sheriff, he was also, what did they call him, a barrel man,
He was a
wasn't
barrel man, yes, and that's where I knew him from.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. he worked with a company called SEBRA, Southern Extreme Bull Riding Association, and they used to come around here. I mean, I've been watching them probably ever since I was 12 years old, when going to SEBRA events, somewhere around there. And then they have them every year in Jane Lou, a little town there just off of Interstate 79 in West Virginia. And he was the barrel man. I don't. This is something we got to ask him what the technical term is for what he does.
Yeah.
Because they used to always be called rodeo clowns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even the safety men like Shorty Gorham and all them, they were considered rodeo clowns. Now they're called now they're bullfighters.
Bullfighters. What is Flint Rasmussen called?
Well, PBR calls him an entertainer because he doesn't really get involved.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of like what he would be.
Yeah, but Brett was more involved with the bulls than Flint was. If you ever seen Brett, I mean, this guy, I've seen him go for some rides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've seen him flung a few times. We've seen him get a few hits, but we're kind of holding that off and getting his side of that.
We want to get his side of it.
Yes.
He really got into it.
There was one particular night in Jane Lou that I've got to ask him about. It was utter chaos down there.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm
And
excited
that
for
was a
this
bad
one.
night, though. There were several guys getting hurt that night.
Yeah.
It seems like it goes in spurts. Like you'll go see, and I have, John, you have it too, Ride Pass, which is PBR's streaming app, so we can see all of their events, you know, because they don't play every one of them. I think they play every one of the major tour on CBS or CBS Sports, but like the Velocity Tour, it doesn't get airplay, but maybe on the Cowboy Channel occasionally. Well, they broadcast all that on Ride Pass, so, but there will be nights that you're almost like, all right, this is...
Somebody get hurt.
This is a blood sport, and I ain't seeing no blood.
I do like to see. I like to see PBR for that reason. I know it's awful, but I do.
Well, it's the same reason people watch NASCAR. They want to see them
Or
pile
hockey.
up.
Yeah,
Hockey too.
All right.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, I like to watch football. Football doesn't have as many injuries, but it's so cool when you just see a really hard hit and somebody get hurt. It's like, yes.
Oh yeah. You see?
Violence.
Yeah.
Man down. Man down.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I almost hit the button.
Stop. You stop
She
it
almost
right now.
got the car crash.
She almost got it.
Hey, I'm a better driver than you are, so.
So
No, I was just going to say
three
one
deers
thing.
into the front of your car, I think would.
Two.
Okay,
Two.
my bad. 2 deer would
And he's
dispute that
one. Now, who has the worst car damage?
you do
by far.
No.
by far.
Everything
I
is
would-
messed up on your car. Go look at my car versus your car right now.
I would have to say it's that Ford. It looked like it'd been through World War II.
Yep. See, miss.
Now, Mariah, which one looks worse?
What are we talking about? I'm
The
sorry.
cars.
Forget the girl code.
The cars. Okay. Which one looks
cars-
worse? They hit the deer.
Is Phil's
The
truck worse
headlight
or her
is
car worse?
fixed. The headlight is already fixed. The bumper is put on there already.
Held on with duct tape, probably.
Nope. It's already. My dad was my knight in shining armor because you failed me miserably.
Oh,
so you're
boy.
Is that because he's bald?
And this marriage is over.
Wait a minute. Kate just said, is that because he's bald? He's definitely a shining knight.
Yes, he
He's a Saturday
shines.
night.
You can see it.
I love Brother Riggs. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Very cool.
So, and then the front. So not only is the bumper broke, you have the entire front, like, grill area completely shattered.
It did,
Mine is just cracked.
It did $3,000 worth of damage on my.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That ain't nothing. I can top that.
Is it like if I had to choose between one of them?
Yeah, who's the worst?
Oh.
Yeah. We're going to post pictures, and I'm going to have a poll later.
Yeah, you should. That
I
would actually
will.
kind of cool.
I am definitely doing that because we're going to see who is
Because I
the worst
haven't-
car.
Well, I haven't seen the car since it's been fixed.
I'm just gonna say I think Audie Murphy might have drove that on D-Day. So that car.
Hey. Do you ever want to see my husband again?
We got Audie Murphy's old Ford Fusion sitting out.
Yeah. I think he's got a machine gun mounted on top of it or something.
Yeah. How did we get on cars getting tore up with deer?
I'm with you on that. I was actually wondering the same thing.
NASCAR?
I tell you, I don't
Yeah.
know.
About NASCAR?
But I would have took $3,000 worth of damage over what I had. I had a 2015 Ford Escape and plastered deer 55 mile an hour.
Man.
$8,000.
When did you have a Ford Escape?
Oh,
$8,000.
that was
Good.
when
With
you
his
lived
first marriage.
when you lived in Webster County.
Yep. I was headed to work and just Yep, jump right off the bank, hit the front of the car. I saw the hood mounts break, and I'm like, okay, there's still a lot of damage. The deer slides down the road, gets up, and runs off.
Holy cow.
And then
Wow.
it busted the radiator. It took all the grill, both headlights, the hood, and then, of course, all that has to be repainted, too, to match.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, 8,000.
That's one of the things that happened to
Wow.
me, too, when I hit that deer. He jumped up and pranced away, flipping me the bird.
After he pooped on the car and the ground and ran away. I'm serious.
You pooped on my car.
He did.
He just took a
took
giant
big, huge
dookie in the
He
car.
took a Mondo Duke, like right at the very front of the car.
Basically, what he did was he wiped his butt with the grill and just walked off.
He basically did what Andy did to the boss's car in the office.
Yes, yes.
Did a giant crap on the hood of your car.
And when you have something that just did that amount of damage, I want it to suffer.
Yes, absolutely.
It deserves to suffer.
It
Yeah.
deserves it.
If I could have caught that deer, I would have chased it down and slit its throat
Oh,
right there on the side of the road, but I couldn't catch it.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I was begging
We
to have
better-
some deer steaks
We
or
better
something.
be careful. There's going to be some animal activists or something after
Yes.
us now.
Yes.
Hey,
Good on them.
they're the ones that jumped out in front of us, and I was going slow each time. Makes me mad.
Yeah, Peter will be Peter will be taking us down. Let me finish what we were plugging Brett Carpenter's appearance next
Yes.
week. So not only was he a barrel man, he's been in law enforcement for years, right?
Yes.
He's been a deputy sheriff in Barber County for years, and now he's the elected sheriff. So Brett's kind of
Nice.
He's got some good stories, I'm sure, on both
Oh,
accounts.
yes, he does.
And not only that, he balanced these two careers for years.
Yes.
You know, so I definitely got
As
some
well as
questions
being
for him.
a husband and a father. So, I mean, he's been a busy man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give
that's
the
awesome.
definition of be cowboy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you were going to say
Yeah.
success, but never mind.
Nope. Be cowboy.
Yeah. Yep. The PBR slogan.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got
Awesome.
Christian Evans got back with me as well. He's got a bluegrass band down there around Kaiser, and they seem to be up and coming a little bit. So he's going to be on the show.
Nice.
How many people do you have lined up? Like 6 people?
We've got about 6 guests lined up. Yeah.
That's
6?
awesome.
Yeah. Somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah.
So not all of them are completely finalized yet, but we got.
Well, I'm starting to feel like I'm out of the loop.
I'm working hard. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Try it again.
You're twerking your
What I-
hardest.
what I
You're
meant to
twerking
say-
your hardest.
I'm working hard behind the scenes here for you.
Yeah, that was starting off nothing like that.
Every now and then I start stuttering. Have you guys seen in the news about the president of Haiti?
I have not.
I've heard some terrible things about that. But tell me.
I've heard some rumblings, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of sitting back just listening to what's going on. Okay. And there's more and more details coming out. The president of Haiti got assassinated about 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
something like that. These people busted into his house. They shot him and his wife. I think
And
it
his
was.
wife. Yes.
And
Did his wife survive?
last I heard, she did,
Okay. I thought I heard that as well.
but I don't.
They're
But
going to
you-
go back and finish that job, though.
No.
Little
no,
arsenic in
because,
the IV bag.
because he was the main focus. He was the main focus. Continue, though. What's
Yeah.
going on
Well,
about
yeah,
that?
and then it kind of set off chaos there in
Yeah.
Haiti because they're pretty much that's a very unstable region, anyways.
Right.
But
Oh, yeah.
so as I'm scrolling through Fox, I usually scroll through there multiple times a day. You know, just keeping up on the news as it comes out. So a headline got my attention. It said, "Miami security firm faces questions in Haiti assassination."
Yep.
I'm like, we got some Jason Bourne type stuff going on here.
Yes. There's some undercover
Oh,
stuff going
wow.
on.
Because
Dude.
there was also reports that people were saying, hey, when these guys busted into his house, they identified themselves as the DEA.
Whoa.
Okay? Now, if somebody knocks on that door right now, I'm crapping my pants.
Yeah, for real.
But anyway, so I don't know. I'm not claiming it was the DEA. I'm not saying that at all. But
That's just what the report said.
I don't know if they tried to pose as the DEA or what it was, but there's this security firm in Florida, and he wound up being the one that hired all 18 mercenaries to do this contract hit on the president of Haiti.
Wow.
Whoa.
So you can only imagine the deep dookie this old boy's in.
Yeah, I want to know who are his connections, because someone just doesn't randomly hire 18 people to go kill off the governor of Haiti.
But you know, also though, he's probably the fall guy in that company.
Yeah.
You're
Exactly.
probably right.
That's what I was saying. Connections. Who are his connections?
Yeah,
he's,
probably
just
so.
taking the hit for somebody else.
Yeah.
I would like to know if the Clintons have something involved with this.
Oh boy.
Hey, there's a red laser coming through the window.
Please, Mrs. Clinton, don't suicide me.
Please, I don't want to suicide.
Now they do have some ties over there though, don't they?
They did back in the day.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought.
What
Yeah.
was it that the Clinton Foundation was big in Haiti? Remember when all that was when old Trump
Yes.
was
And
like,
then it disappeared. After she lost, the Clinton Foundation stuff went
She
belly
doesn't have
up.
that money to line her pockets again.
Yeah, stuff just randomly started disappearing. And if that foundation had been exactly what they said it was, it would have been there for a while and not just for her political gain.
I don't know. There's a lot of
Well,
speculation.
exactly.
I'm looking forward to seeing what keeps coming out of this, because there's going to be a movie made about it. If this
yeah.
turns
You
out
know
to be this large
yeah.
conspiracy type thing,
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude,
we got to keep up on that for sure.
Yeah, well, and they said two of the people that they arrested, two of the operatives, they were Haitian Americans. So they were like American citizens, originally from Haiti. So there's some deep ties in there that Mark Wahlberg will be starring in a movie about that.
I'm for that, though. I am for that. He's a very good actor.
You know what it brings back? I was just thinking as we were talking about it, it reminds me of all the deep rabbit holes I used to go down about the Kennedy assassination.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. Yes.
If you ever want something that will keep you awake at night, watch the movie JFK that Oliver Stone put out that had Kevin Costner played in it.
Yes, that was really good.
It's like a 4-hour movie. And man,
It's so long.
it is. But
It's an
also-
awesome movie, though.
That also sounds like some of the Call of Duty games. Because remember, they always had deep, dark conspiracies in those games. Matter of fact, they even had one where supposedly he was going into Cuba and was assassinating Castro.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember which one it was in, but I've played several of those Call of Duty games, and a lot of it has that conspiracy stuff in it. Sounds exactly like this.
Oh, yeah.
That's strange,
That's
though.
so creepy.
Yeah,
It is.
that is so weird.
Well, and it's funny you mention that, because in the Kennedy thing, Cuba was a big factor in that. And guess who's blowing up right now as well? Is Cuba's going berserk
Wasn't that
at
the
the
Bay of
moment.
Pigs or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Bay of Pigs.
Okay.
They tried to.
Yeah, that's this. They tried to say that in this this game that it was not, them trying to recreate the Bay of Pigs or anything like that. But, I mean, you kick in the front door. And
You're making reference
shoot this
to it?
Castro lookalike in the head. So.
No. You're making no.
Oh, my.
John Hopkins just said that the bullet probably cost more than the plane ride to Haiti.
Oh, that's
Ain't nobody wants to go to Haiti.
Yeah, the price of ammunition right now. Gee whiz.
Do you want to go over some comments?
good.
Kenny Rigsby wants to know, can Missy get a bigger cup?
Y'all, this cup seriously is bigger than 2 of my hands.
Bigger cup, that's
seriously,
good.
2. It's bigger than 2. 9
Said she
fingers.
could quench the thirst in Africa with half that cup.
Hey, it was $3 at Goodwill, and I looked it up online, and it was $30-something online. And I was like, yeah, $3. I got 36 ounces of coffee. I'm happy.
Just what everybody needs.
I think I'd rather pay the $30 so I wouldn't have the Goodwill germs on it.
You germaphobe, you.
Dude, I'll tell you one thing that I always
just
feel
kidding.
I feel weird about buying from Goodwill. I can't bring myself to buy underwear from a thrift store.
Absolutely not.
If
I
you
would hope
do
not,
buy
man. I would
underwear,
hope
there's
not.
a problem.
Because
Don't
I
be buying
know-
underwear.
I know the condition that mine are in when they're ready for me to get rid of them.
I throw mine away, man. I throw mine away.
Oh, yeah.
His ends up looking like what is it, cookies and cream or chocolate swirl?
Oh, come on.
Please, Lord, have mercy.
Hammer
I used to like cookies and cream ice cream. Goodness.
Oh, you love it. You love it. You go gobble,
You
gobble,
love it.
gobble. I love it.
Goodness.
I'm starting to sweat. Okay, one other item I wanted to hit in the news before we got on to something else.
Yes.
It was just reported again. Britney Spears is still making news, okay?
Let me just make
Still
this
yet.
clear. My husband has a fetish with Britney Spears.
I do not, but it's the only thing.
There's very little in the news that we can even talk about.
We're
It's all
bored right now.
COVID.
And Fox has decided it's the only thing they're writing about at the moment.
Okay. Okay.
And Lord knows I won't go to CNN. Okay, they reported, somehow they found out how much we talked about her dad, Jamie, that is, like the head of her conservatorship.
Right.
They reported how much he's made off her, okay? He's earned at least $5 million before taxes. He gets $16,000 a month. It's a payment.
Oh, my.
Wow.
He also, when she did her residency in Vegas, he got 1.5% of the gross ticket and merchandise sales from there.
Oh,
What?
And then when she went on her 2013, or I'm sorry, her 2011 tour, he got 2.95% commission off of that. On top
Oh,
of that,
my.
she also pays for his lawyers, and she pays $2,000 a month for his office space.
Wow.
oh.
Wow.
And that's just him. There's other members of her family that are also getting paid by her, from what I understand, against her
yeah.
will.
And she doesn't want to pay for this. Like, she has no choice but to pay for this.
Well, according to what
Oh
we
my
was looking
gosh.
at there the other week, that it's court appointed. She has
Yep.
no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So against
Well, I mean,
her
what would
will,
she do with all that money anyways?
Wow.
Give
I'd
it to
find
me.
She doesn't need it.
Mariah, I could probably come up with something.
She could sponsor
My
her
word.
local
We could go out to
firefighter.
dinner.
Yeah, that's what she would do.
I tell you what
Yeah.
she could do.
She needs a fireman.
I tell you what she could do
Well,
is
Jonathan's right here, so she can call him.
she could go
I wouldn't
to
even have to live in the house. You know, I could still live
But
here.
it'd be
She
much
just-
more fun if you
just
did, though,
fork
right?
me away some money, you know?
I tell you what
That's
she
insane.
I'll try it. I'll try it again. I tell you what she could do is she could go to anchor.fm/Phil Sparks and she could sign up for a monthly membership.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, she could.
She could send us a voice message if she so chooses, and
Okay.
you all can do the exact same thing. There's the plug
Way
for
to
the
fit
show.
that in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, or she could go to our fans only account. No, I'm kidding.
Now, see, I haven't. Is there something you're not telling me about that?
Nope.
OnlyFans.
I know nothing of a fans only account.
See, I can tell because you're saying it wrong. It's OnlyFans. It's not fans only.
See?
How do you know so much about
There
this,
we
Phil?
go.
How do you know?
You're safe, brother.
Nothing.
Because I make a pretty good monthly bonus off my OnlyFans account.
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it's called.
OnlyFans.
See, y'all, I am not meant for this life at all.
But you know, the app is actually just people that enjoy selling and trading fans.
Yes, right.
You mean fannies, not fans.
Fannies.
Oh, dude.
That car wreck was
that's
multiple. There's a collision.
Oh, dude.
Kaden, there was some news happened with you, and we made reference to it a couple shows ago.
Yes, I forgot about
And
this.
then we wound up, we didn't, the podcast didn't cover it. We we did some selective editing.
We ran
and
out of
decided
time.
we ran out of time. So what happened in your life there? What about, how long has it been now?
4th of July weekend.
Yes.
What happened the 4th of July weekend?
Yes, something happened.
What are you talking about?
What's wrong, Kaden?
Kanan developed amnesia.
What happened
Kanan
July
developed-
4th?
I don't
Too
know
much
what he's
smoke
doing
inhalation.
right now. I don't know what he's doing, but it's getting really awkward.
Kanan suffered from carbon monoxide poisoning. He'd start
What
turning
happened?
purple.
Huh? You
suffered
tried to
from
set your
carbon
house on fire with your wife and child inside.
Exactly.
Wait,
with
what?
a
I
propane
did
tank.
what?
And that cop showed up and unlocked the door and let him out.
And then you ran out naked into your front yard screaming, "Help me! Help me!"
Now this is news to me, you all. This is just news to me.
I bet your wife
No.
remembers.
Oh my, yes. No, so
Your
we
wife
definitely
was
have.
Guess who's storming about that? Me.
Yeah, Mariah does
Ooh.
not. Mariah does not like talking about this. It makes her a nervous wreck.
I can understand.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
But no, we did. So what was it? Friday. It was Friday, so it'd been the 3rd, right?
Uh-huh.
Second.
Oh no, the 2nd. Sorry. And we were having a party on the 3rd that Saturday, and we were smoking a pork butt. And
You doing what? The pork butt?
I was smoking
He's
some pork
smoking
butt.
it real good.
You must have done something
Hey,
wrong.
we're talking about food. We're talking about food.
Oh man.
Go ahead.
So we were smoking that up and having a good old time with it.
And
Oh, man.
continue.
So we are. So it's probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I'm going to let it on all night. So I took out the chips. I sat them down for a little bit, let them cool off a little.
Because you got
then-
an electric smoker, right? Where the chips don't. They just kind of sit in a pan and smolder,
Yes,
Yes, 'cause it's electric.
absolutely.
so they
yes.
don't really consume. They just sit there and smoke.
Well, they,
Yes.
yeah, and then they turn to ash.
Then they turn to ash, and then you've got to refill it. And so I took it out, let it set for a little bit, threw them away. I had some other chips that were soaking in water, so I put them back in the tray, put it all back, was letting it smoke. But then what I did was I threw the chips in the trash can, and there was actually some grease down in that trash can from Mariah here cleaning off the grill. And I guess I just wasn't really putting. Actually, I thought the chips were, not active,
Mm-hmm. Well, that's reasonable.
So-
I mean, like I said, they don't actually catch on fire down there. They just
No, they don't. They get hot. But like I said, I let it cool for a little bit. Not long enough, obviously. But what
That was my clear.
Obviously.
it's like,
Obviously.
I thought it was good enough. So we go in, like I said, it's way past our bedtime. So it's like 11 o'clock. So we go and lay down, and it was something like woke us up, and we're like, it happened to be a light, and Mariah's like, what is that? And I'm like kind of looking around, and I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, and then her charger, it's hilarious. This little charging pad has a little red light on it that kind of like goes round and around, and we're like, that? We get to look at it. We're like, nope, it's on her charger. All of a sudden about that time, dude, it sounded like it sounded like SWAT was literally just busting down our door.
Ooh, boy.
So we're live. So if anybody wants to come to my house and beat on the door at 11 o'clock at night, just know there will be a gun in my hand.
Yes. Aw.
Yes, indeed.
So I'm running out the door, and I have this gun in my hands, and Mariah's like, and then all of a sudden this cop yells, "Your garage is on fire!" So I literally just like chucked the gun. I'm like, "What? I don't need this. I need a fire hose."
I'll shoot the fire out.
Which, granted, after he said that, he opened the door. The guy yelled that. He runs in the house and it's like, your garage is on fire. There's a propane tank. You gotta get out of the house. You gotta get out of the house now.
Yeah.
And of course, this, bless his heart, I will forever appreciate this man. He was using his police voice, and let me tell you, when a man uses his police voice,
Oh boy.
you don't hesitate. You go. So I told him, I'm like, I have to grab my son. And so he's like, get him, get out of the house, go straight to my car. So I ran in and picked up Jack and wrapped him up in his blanket because he was asleep. And we started running out to his car. And I thought Jack was asleep because I had him wrapped up and he was passed out already.
Would you like to be on Hillbilly Broadcast? Of course you would. Who wouldn't? If you find yourself in that category of people, please feel free to go to anchor.fm/PhilSparks and send us a voice message, and we will play it on the show. You say, I'm more of an email guy or gal. Don't worry, we got you covered. Send an email to hillbillybroadcast@aol.com. You say, I don't like either of those options. I'm a Facebook-only individual. That's fine. Look us up on Facebook at Hillbilly Broadcast and send us something on Messenger. Well, you ask, Phil, what if I want to go the extra mile and I want to support you all? Well, I'm glad you asked that question because that is very, very easy. Go back to the first website I told you about, anchor.fm/PhilSparks, and you can support us on a monthly basis if you so choose. We love our audience, we love audience interaction, and we will read your messages or play them on the air.
And all of a sudden, I start running to the car, and he goes, "Yay, police officer!"
He said too much.
Sad.
He thought he was on an
Wait,
episode
what?
of Paw Patrol.
He was
Yeah.
chasing himself.
Hey, we'll come back to another Paw Patrol story after this is finished.
Okay.
Okay.
So Chase is on the case.
Yeah.
Okay, so continue.
So,
Wait, Kanan, you've left
So-
out the part where you were naked.
We're not
well,
there yet.
I'm
Okay.
getting there. So Mariah's like,
That's the part
so-
I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Hey, you like that? You like that part, huh? Yeah. So,
This is live, honey.
sorry, excuse that. So Mariah's like, I said, I'm like standing in the front door, just stark naked, and Mariah, I'm like, I need some clothes. And so Mariah like throws me a rye robe, but I didn't have time to I literally didn't have time to tie to really get it on good or even tie it up. So
Oh my goodness.
now, mind you, this cop is yelling, "You got a propane tank on fire outside of your garage. If that goes off, all hell is breaking loose." I'm like, okay.
Oh, boy.
He said, "We need to get your cars to safety." And I said, "Yes, I do. I just bought a truck. I need to get that put in."
Which thankfully,
For sure.
thankfully, the smoker was actually in the garage. It was away from the walls, but it was plugged in the garage to keep, level heat.
Mhm.
But none of the cars were in the garage.
Yeah, none of the cars were in the garage, but they were still pretty close to the
They were
garage.
parked beside.
So that's why he said, "We need to get these vehicles out of here."
Mhm.
Well, I've never really considered myself somewhat of a fast runner, but I'll tell you, I ran so fast with that robe not being actually connected to my body that well. it literally just flies off of my body. And so I'm running down my driveway just stark naked.
Oh
You know?
my
And so-
goodness.
and so
Dude, you had less wind resistance.
it was those that aerodynamic or whatever, So I jump in the truck to move it. I never realized how cold leather was at 11 o'clock at night.
And I was like, didn't you just have a conversation earlier too, like that week with Phil about being prepared if something bad were to happen?
Because
Go ahead.
Yes, because Phil said that he wants to be ready at all times, so he'll sleep with his clothes on. I said, dude, I can be ready at any time. Nah, you really
No,
can't.
no.
I
We
proved
found out real quick you cannot be.
Main reason.
I can be ready at any time. I don't care what shape I'm in. If my car's my wife or child's in danger, I don't care. I'm out there.
The main
Absolutely.
reason
He
I
was.
sleep with my
All-
clothes on is because
Him
I
in all
don't
his
like
glory.
waking up in the morning and that initial shock of looking in the mirror. That's too much to handle that early.
I just don't look in the mirror, So anyway, we get the cars that moved out of the way. I finally did get some clothes on. The cop was like, "Do you have a water hose?" And I'm like, "Yes." So I run over, grab the water hose, pull it over, and I start trying to put the fire out on the propane tank because that was our biggest concern at the time. And so we finally got that out. We threw the tank out of the way, and then we started working on the garage. And dude, luckily my neighbor, super cool guy, he actually come running across there as well with his water hose. And we got the fire put out. Of course, then the firemen came, and they probably did more damage to our garage than the fire did.
Oh, I guarantee they did.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's absolutely okay. They were awesome. They were
They
great.
were so
They
awesome.
were great. Very nice, and They were great.
I think they
really
were bored that night because there was about
there
4
was
trucks,
so many of them.
an ambulance,
I mean, dude,
and
they
then
come
there was
all over.
about 6 sheriff trucks
Yeah.
parked along my yard.
But in their defense, I think that it came over the radio that there was a propane tank.
As a yeah.
And so I think they all kind of like freaked out. Was like, because when they come up, I heard them saying like, "Where's the propane tank? What do we, what's going on with it?" And they're like, "It's out. We're good. Everything's
But
cool." So,
after you guys got it out, they started to check everything, and it was actually still smoldering in the top of the garage.
yeah, that's where they tore it out.
And then that's when they
Really,
started tearing into the garage
Yeah,
and started spraying
and
it down.
spraying
and
it down
everything.
again.
Well, we
Yeah,
just happen
so-
to have a resident firefighter on staff here at the show. John, you've worked probably more of these than you can count, right?
Not a whole lot, but I've been a rural fireman, so I haven't got a whole lot of experience. But did you have insulation up there in your garage?
No.
No, actually, what's funny is though, there's a bag of insulation that's like left over, I guess, but it was like way towards the back. So.
It's just so if you get the hankering to insulate your garage, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to point
I
out,
probably.
Kenny Rigsby, he commented and said, the reason why you had that house fire is you're trying to be homeless again.
Yes, very true, very true.
That's so good.
I thought what I'd do is try to collect the insurance money and buy me a better cardboard box.
There you go. We knew it.
Oh, I get it. So, man.
The reason
so,
why
yeah,
I asked, though, is a lot of times, when that fire gets up into your attic like that, that insulation will just smolder for hours and hours. So you gotta
make sure
pull that stuff out. I
Yes,
figured
and-
that's probably what they was after. But I guess if you didn't have any up there, it must still been some of that wood up in there just burning away.
Now you wound up with
it's very true.
just basically not much more than cosmetic damage, right?
Pretty much, honestly.
A little electrical damage.
Yeah, a little electrical.
And some.
Really everything. Now the OSB on the front of it is gone. The siding's gone, but
It
like
melted our trash can completely.
Oh yeah, trash
And your
can was gone.
pavement, right? Like your
Yeah,
our
it,
pavement.
yeah, it messed the
Yeah.
pavement up,
Oh
so
my
I got to get that
gosh.
fixed. So there, but really like 2x4s and stuff like that. Really, it's just a lot of smoke damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or,
that's-
I mean, or like black. It's like blackened.
yeah, I remember the pictures you sent me with 2x4s and all that still looked like they were pretty well
they're-
intact.
It's still pretty strong. It really is. So, it's just now we had the adjuster out, last week, Wednesday, yes, and so they're getting. Hopefully, they're not going to try to, cheat me out of it, and
Yeah.
with the price of lumber these days, good heavens, I can't afford that.
It's supposed to be coming down though. Someone told me that plywood was dropping, so they were really looking forward.
Yeah, it is. It is some. It's not
Yeah.
where it was, but it is getting better. So
Fingers crossed.
yes,
good.
absolutely.
It's funny you mentioned
So,
that
yeah.
because Mom just had to deal with an insurance adjuster about 2 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Around that time.
Really?
Oh yeah, on that truck.
Yeah, that truck. Me and her were out driving on a Sunday afternoon, and a big tree limb fell down and hit the truck. And I tell you what, I felt the same way. It wasn't my truck, but I was still nervous for Mom. And but that insurance adjuster, wound up being as good as gold. So,
Oh yeah.
Aw, good.
Oh yeah.
hopefully, maybe they
that's
don't.
good.
Maybe that rap that they got was from years gone by. You know.
Hopefully.
Hopefully so. Hopefully
I
so.
had a woman to rear end my old pickup one time, and it was, I think, the very next day, the insurance adjuster called me, and he was in the next community over, and he said, I'm over here looking at a couple of vehicles. If you can make it over, and we'll, get yours fixed up. Right there on the spot, he went through it. You guys know what my old truck was. It was kind of a piece of junk, But he even tried to get me a new exhaust system because the exhaust had rusted off of it.
Oh.
And he tried to get me a new exhaust too. He's like,
Aw.
but dude, there's so many rust spots on it. Like I can't do it. He's like, I tried. So even the dealing I had with them, they were fantastic.
Yeah. That's good.
That's good.
And I tell you
That is
something
good.
else, Ken. That's just goes to show. And I know we like to laugh and have fun, and that's all well and good. But that just goes to show how the good Lord was with you in that whole situation right there.
Dude, I believe that, man. I do.
There
And
are
then-
so many bad things that could have went
could have
wrong.
went down.
Yeah.
When we woke up that next morning, I sat there and looked at that propane tank. Like, just so many bad things just rushed to my mind.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that fire was right beside Jack's room.
Yeah, it was. And now I'm telling you, man, I'm not exaggerating. That propane tank was on fire. It was covered in flames. You couldn't even see the propane tank anymore. It literally was just engulfed in
He
flames.
had you just put the hose on it, and he said,
yeah.
"Don't take the hose off of it.
Yep.
We have to cool it down."
Yeah, we have to cool that down. We got to try to get the fire off of that.
Oh,
Wow.
my
So that's what I started working on.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
and of course, I'm standing there, and I'm like, oh dear Lord, please don't let this thing go off, because I'm 4 or 5 feet from it.
I'm standing here stark naked in front of a propane tank.
in front of a and go in flame. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my.
Yeah, I actually just had a pickup fire about 3 weeks ago or so, and had one of them little 20-pound propane tanks in the bed.
Oh,
And
Oh my
dude,
gosh.
yeah.
so it actually was a wreck, and so the gas kind of ignited a little bit that was running out of the gas tank, but it just kind of trickled back to that. And when that propane tank, because it got real hot, swelled up, and then the side of it cracked, and that propane ignited, just burnt the entire pickup up. I mean, burnt the metal, like because that stuff burns.
Wow.
Good
It gets
hot.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yep.
Absolutely.
so yeah, it's good you was able to get that taken care of.
Yep. Good Lord.
Is there
Oh, man,
anyone-
amen to that.
Is there anyone you want to thank and address, and maybe you can even just name the police department and the fire department, like for your area, to thank them?
Well, we don't have a name, because honestly, we're just so shook up. Like, we didn't
Yeah.
really think about that.
Okay.
But it would have been Henry County was what he said.
He said he was from Henry County, but
Or
when
that's-
we,
Of course, we were shook up. We could be wrong.
babe, I swear he said
I'm
Henry
the same
County.
way. I swear he
I
said
promise.
Henry
But
County.
when we have asked about him, they
There-
have no record of him anywhere.
There's no record of it. Because
Really?
there's a Henry County officer that is actually running for sheriff in Henry County, and we asked him, and my family members asked him, hey, do you know this guy? We gave him, what he looked like, the car he drove, and they said there is nobody down here
By
that
that description.
by that description or drives that vehicle.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Wow.
So
We haven't been able to find him.
we've not been able to find him.
Okay.
So, but he said Henry County.
But he's our angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Wherever he's at,
100%.
he's the
Yes,
Oh my
indeed.
gosh.
so.
And then you said there were some other people there too, Missa and
Beth.
Beth.
Holy cow.
Yes.
They saved
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, they were super awesome.
Aw.
They were.
I was having a full-on panic attack. I didn't know, I tried to call one person, they didn't answer, so I called her, and I was just like, I couldn't even talk, so I don't really know how she understood me, but I was like, there's a fire, I'm in a car, come to me. And she was there within minutes. Her and Missa
Yeah.
were both
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And they just they held on to me, one held on to me, one held on to Jack, and she's like, "You're okay, it's gonna be okay." And they stayed there till everybody else left.
That's
Yeah.
great.
They
oh my
were-
gosh.
That's great.
It was awesome. They were holding Mariah, and I was making jokes, and Mariah was not getting happy with it.
It's too soon, baby. Too soon.
I told
You were
Mariah,
storming. You were storming in a
I-
different
yeah.
way.
I told Mariah, I said, well, our trash can's gone. I said, I wonder if I could turn that into auto insurance. I said, it has wheels. Mariah said, would you please shut up? Oh, well.
I'm guessing that's probably not the
Oh,
only
yeah.
time you've heard her say that.
No, it's on the regular. Oh, my.
That's great, man.
No, but-
Like I said, the Lord was definitely with you. Definitely
Yes.
with you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Amen to that.
And it
I
turned-
believe that
'Cause it-
100%.
There's even times that, and props to the local groups that y'all dealt with. There's times it
Yes.
don't go like that out in rural areas.
No.
No.
Lord
don't.
knows I've had a couple instances in the past year.
Yes.
Dude, we had some or potentially major stuff going on, and
Yeah.
I can count on one hand the times I've had to call 911 in my life,
Yep.
and me or my family's been involved in instances where we've called them, and nobody shows up.
No.
It's rural
Yeah.
areas, and you're just
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
there, man. You're just stuck.
Yep.
I hate
Yeah,
to say it, but
it's
we're
true.
more of a power to your own, because you're just like, we have to defend ourselves. We have to take care of
Yeah.
ourselves because there's no one
Yeah.
else to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's.
Well, that's right, because honestly, when we got the propane tank out, I turned and started working on the garage, trying to get the garage out. But I honestly didn't think the water hose would do it. But I was like, I gotta try, because I thought to myself, I was like, I'm literally just gonna watch this garage go up, because because they honestly weren't here just like right then. You know, I mean,
it didn't feel like it. They actually they were there pretty fast.
They were there pretty quick. But I mean, you got
in the moment.
You got a 10-minute drive either way you go. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
Muncie or what's this other town down there? Lesantville. I mean, you got about 8 minutes one way and probably 10 the other.
Yes. Yeah. I guess that fire department is in Lesantville, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it was that far.
That's good the way it worked out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when I say people not showing up, I've never had that kind of. I don't know that I've ever had to call the fire department for anything. But I've never heard of. But there's sometimes when you might have a prowler or something. You know, there's counties in West Virginia, and I don't live close to this one we're talking about. I want to make sure I'm clear. We're not talking about our county.
Right.
Their law enforcement goes off duty at midnight. Every cop in the county is off duty at midnight.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's
That's
not okay.
I had resided in one of those counties that was that way, and I actually lived right on Main Street in this town, and at 11:30, the place would just be crawling with, people doing their drug deals and all that stuff, because, around that time, all the officers are starting to head home. But then also after midnight, they can do all the selling and dealing they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And there's nobody there to oppose them.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
That's not okay.
That can
Not at all.
That can get hairy real quick.
Absolutely.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Very.
And that may have been the issue, because I do know the county that I used to live in. I don't know that they went down to no law enforcement, but I think it was only like one or two officers to cover the whole county, and I believe they ride together. Mm-hmm. So you basically got one car to cover the whole county.
Exactly.
So it can get real hairy real quick.
Absolutely.
That's crazy, dude. Wow.
Yep. All the more reason to make sure your sidearm's close by.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, make sure you're home and on your property and after a certain hour.
Turns into the purge
don't
around
you
here
step
after
on
midnight.
my property.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dude, Phil, Missy, you guys will have to tell the story one of these nights about that woman that was up on your all's porch at the old house.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my
that
goodness.
Was cracked out. I mean, you guys could tell that now if you have time, or we could do it maybe next week or
We
whatever.
had multiple instances
of
things like that.
Do you want me to go ahead and tell them?
But
Yeah.
I think the one with the lady, though, was the scariest, because she was actually up. What?
Yeah,
That wasn't the scariest.
She was up on the porch
Yes. On
at
the
this
porch.
house, and we had these side windows. I hate them to this day.
Oh, I do too.
Oh, I don't like those either.
Yeah,
I don't like
somebody
those
can
either.
knock on your door, and then they automatically start looking in the
look in
window
your
to see
house.
who's there. Yeah.
Yes, see what's going on. Absolutely.
Okay, so the first time, it was like 12:15, and you and I were both on the couch, and like we fell asleep, and we were watching a TV show, probably The Office, like we always do.
Probably so.
Back in the day, at the other house. So I wake up and I'm hearing this knock on the door, and I'm thinking, okay, this is weird. And I look at my phone, 12:15. I look up and I just see this short, blonde-haired woman, and she's just standing there looking in the window, looking right at me. And I'm like, Phil, wake up, Phil, please wake up, wake. And my husband doesn't wake up for anything. I mean, other than me
he's
getting
pretty sound once he's out.
Yes, it was awful. So I finally went, okay, that's it. I go and I have a shotgun right by the door, and my hand is on it. And I open the door, and the lady, she says, do you know who so-and-so is, or who this other person is? And I'm like, no, I have no idea who you're talking about. Well, my dog, while this woman is on my front porch, Seneca, she is pacing back and forth at the only exit that this lady's able to go out of. And she's just growling and pacing back and forth. And I'm like, but my dog might bite you. You need to get out of here.
Well, let's clarify like what she had to go through to get to this house, because
you guys, it wasn't like you just lived a couple blocks off the main
No.
road.
No.
You mean to get where you're going?
yes,
This
indeed.
is literally 9 miles from any town.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
You know,
9 miles from any town, and then it's back in even for rural West Virginia because you got to go up, you got to walk up the main
Right.
hill first of all.
Past
Then
the church, past the
walk
cemetery.
up past the church, walk past the cemetery, go about a quarter mile back through the
Yep.
woods. All this
Yeah.
at midnight, and those woods.
Are
I walked. I walked those enough when I was a kid. They get
It
creepy,
is
man.
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Oh, they do.
So how long do you think your driveway was? Like a mile?
I'd say probably about a quarter mile.
Maybe a quarter of a mile.
past
Yeah,
the
I'd say that's
cemetery.
Okay.
Past
Yeah,
the
probably
cemetery.
past the cemetery. Yeah.
So, and I say,
Okay.
but I do know what you can do. I said you can go down to the bottom of the hill where you came from, make a left, takes to Philippi, and right goes to Grafton. And she was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. And so Phil finally magically wakes up after this woman's gone. And I said, Phil, this woman was at the front door and knocking. And Seneca, I let her in because I'm like, I'm so scared. And we go outside, and this woman has been pacing and like walking around because it was snowing
I
outside.
saw her footsteps. Yeah, where she'd been pacing back and forth.
Yeah, she was
outside.
So it's
pacing
not
back
like
and forth.
she was just there for a minute and was gone.
No.
It was like she's been there for a while
Mm-hmm.
Right.
without
And
you knowing.
yes. And so this lady, like, she even said, I saw you and your husband were asleep in there on the couch.
Ugh.
Guys, you talk about creepy. My
Oh, you ain't
skin
kidding, dude.
crawls. This lady was watching us sleep.
Let me tell you something. You had more self-control than I would, because if I had
Oh.
seen somebody poking their beady little eyes, I would probably shot a hole right
Y'all,
through it.
No,
Yeah.
I to this day, I know what shoes she wore. I know the pants she had on. She had a crazy colored, multicolored scarf and those old-timey jackets that have the hooks with the fur trim along the edges.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no, this woman. Mm-mm.
And did she act high?
No.
Did she act like she
She
was on
acted
something?
nervous, like something bad was going on.
Yeah.
Like she was trying to, a little fishy. And I'm like, I don't like how this is going. My husband's not waking up. I have a shotgun. I'm not afraid to use it. I was more worried about my dog. But if I
Yeah.
had to, I was picking up
Pulling
that
on
thing.
the husband. I'm worried about the
I'm
dog.
worried about the- my husband was
I was-
sound asleep.
I was pretending I was asleep. I was running out the back door while this was going on.
Oh,
At least you wouldn't stark naked.
Touche.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
the bad thing about it is people, that's not doing the best deeds.
Yeah.
You know, they're starting to go out into these rural areas. I mean, they may have been doing it for a while, but there's a lot more of them, heading out to these rural areas because they're they're smart enough to know that there's a longer response time.
Yes.
So if they break in your house,
Absolutely.
even if you have security cameras like you guys do, they break in your house. You see it on the camera, even if you're not home. You call the cops. Somebody's in my house. They've got like a 30-minute response time.
They do.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they know they could go in there, grab what they wanted, and be
Yep.
gone. There's no cameras out there because it's out in the middle of the woods.
Yep.
They just disappear.
And people wonder why that mountain people are such big Second Amendment supporters.
Exactly.
Yes. Because there's
Oh, yeah,
creeps out there.
Yeah.
There are weirdos.
Absolutely, because you can't,
Oh.
you can't just call a cop and he's going to come and save the day for you.
No.
Right.
No, man, by the time they get there, and this is nothing against them. This ain't something that can
No.
really.
No.
No, I'm a huge
I mean,
supporter of back
because like the county I live in, after certain hours, we've got 2 officers to cover the entire county.
Right.
And it is a
Yeah.
Exactly.
super rural county.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and that just comes from. Matter of fact, me and Phil was talking about this earlier today. The salary is horrible.
Yes.
There's
Yep.
there's no perks to get new hires in, and that's
Yeah.
not on the sheriff's office themselves. That's just the
Yeah.
way that West Virginia is. Our pay is terrible for officers, so that's all they got.
Yep.
And that's all the budget
Yep.
that they give them to even hire.
Yeah.
It's true.
So
Yeah.
that's what we got to deal with, but that is a 100% why we're
Yes,
for
indeed.
the Second Amendment.
Yep.
There were 2 other times at that same house. We were coming home we went into and got like a cheeseburger or something from McDonald's. It was late. And there's this car sitting in our driveway with one of the doors open. 2 of the doors open. Were it 2 doors open?
I don't remember if the doors are open or not.
The one door at least was.
Yeah.
But there were people sitting in the car, and you could see them, just sitting there. And we're, waiting on the other side of the cemetery, looking at the car sitting in our driveway, and they're just looking at us and looking at us. and looking at us, and we're like, Phil said, he has a gun. He has a gun. And
It honestly looked. I saw something in his hand, and that was one of the times
that we called the police.
And
Yep.
you came over that night.
And Jonathan came over.
I came over.
Yes.
And I got there in probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Didn't take long.
From my place, and there was no officer there. I honestly expected to see, one of our sheriffs or a state trooper or something there. Nobody there, and nobody ever did.
Nobody ever came.
Like, we were so scared. My husband was ducking down in the car. He thought for sure that gun was coming out, and I was like, I'm driving, and I drove right past him.
Yeah.
I ended up just driving right past him. I was like, okay, Phil. I said, he's like, Phil's ducking down. And I'm like, we're going. Let's go. I said,
Phil's
let's go.
tucking and rolling out with body armor.
He's trying to roll out of the car while I'm driving. And I'm like, I'm not sitting here doing nothing. We have to, get out of here.
Well, this all comes back around to the opioid crisis.
Yes.
It's so bad in West Virginia.
It is bad.
Oh, yeah.
So bad.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that situation, we had one more where I came home late, and I don't know where you were exactly.
Somebody followed you up the hill, didn't they?
This white car followed me up into the graveyard, and I just booked it down that little side road up at Pap's house and went flying down into Linda Maley's driveway, turned off my lights, and this car... Oh, this makes me feel sick again. This car came slowly creeping down the driveway, going so slow. I pulled in behind her vehicle and killed my lights so fast.
Yeah, somebody was definitely following
Someone
you.
was following me because they went exactly where I went. They pulled in the same driveway I did. They took the exact same road I did for 3 different turns. They say if you're being followed, those 3 turns, if they follow you on all 3 turns, you're being followed.
Well,
and I was like, I'm out of there.
And
I'm out of there.
That's right back to what we were saying, though. Like, it takes, even to where she turned off this last road, is still in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, it's still in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
So to follow these 3 turns, somebody's really trying to stay with you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, they were trying to book with me, and I was like out of there.
And like I mentioned about the opioid crisis, a lot of this stuff probably 100% of it's drug related.
Yeah.
And I can remember this area that we grew up in. It wasn't like this when we was a kid.
Oh no.
I mean, of course, you had drugs around and all that, but it wasn't near what it is now.
We had drugs around, but mostly it was like pot.
Yeah.
It was like they would get together weekends or whatever, and they would party and smoke pot and that kind of stuff. But there was never break-ins. Nobody ever stole stuff.
Right.
I mean, good grief.
Right.
For how many years did we not even have front door locked at the house?
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah,
same
multiple
hill
years.
that you guys lived on when all this stuff went down.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's just...
It was getting bad up there.
Yep. That's a different story now, man.
Like, it's even bad when the police officers are asking, like, hey, have you seen this person? We're looking for that person. And then, weird things are happening.
I'll tell you another one that happened to me. Freaked me out one night. I was coming home from church, and, of course, like I said, that driveway is about a quarter of a mile. Somebody comes up, but they mean to come up there.
Yeah.
I pull in, as I'm pulling in on Sunday night after church. State trooper pulls in behind me. And I'm like, oh, Lord, what now? What did I do? And so I walk back there to him. He's like, hey, we're getting calls that there's a 14-year-old girl that's held captive in a pickup truck.
Yeah.
We're pinging her cell phone, and the cell phone said she was out at that church at the end of your lane. Have you seen her? I'm like, no, sir, I haven't seen a thing. And we started.
Wow.
They even went up the hill. There were multiple people with them and went up the hill looking for them.
No, that we did.
Okay.
We started doing some nosing around.
We started looking. Okay. I remembered someone went looking, but.
So things is getting.
That's weird. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So glad we're in a different county.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you guys are in a much better area now, man.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, things can.
Wow.
Things can get. And that's what you don't understand. Like, we've been watching all these. Fear Thy Neighbor and Evil Lives Here. All those documentaries on Discovery Plus. Dude, stuff can go sideways so fast. So fast.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
You look back at the whole Hatfield-McCoy fight, you can have people killing each other over basically nothing. It just escalates, and just goes.
Oh, yeah.
Just like
goes
that
bad.
creepy psychiatrist who knew how to bend the system so that it got people in trouble and killed
Oh, yeah.
last night.
Yeah, that lady down in Florida.
Oh.
Well, she's still on Facebook, by the way.
Yeah. No one wants to be her medical contact, though. Tell
Oh
you.
my.
Oh, it's
Wow.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, there's a
goodness.
lot of these shows we'll have to show you, Mariah, whenever we get together again.
Yes, definitely will.
Absolutely.
Definitely will.
Well, guys,
No, man.
we've been running about an hour and 5 minutes. You
We
want to
have
start?
11 people watching.
Oh, well, nice.
I don't know
Shout out
if,
to them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does someone want to read some comments or something?
Oh, you.
Oh, do you want to do that tonight?
We might as well.
Oh my gosh!
So we had. Cannon, you
wanna
ready for
do-
this? You got time?
I was gonna say, let's do this
Unless
another
you
night.
want to just do a little teaser so people tune in next round.
Yeah, let's do a little teaser of
Do a
it.
little
Okay,
teaser.
we can do a teaser.
Just think. Okay, so we'll ask the people listening, what's the worst rumor you've ever had spread about yourself? We've got a few saved up. There's some things.
Absolutely.
There's people
I'm
that
ready
hate
for
my
this.
guts.
I'm ready for this. I'm so excited.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's people that
It is.
despise
It
me
is.
in places I used to live, all because of rumors. So.
Yeah.
I'm ready for
I
this.
would-
I can't wait to talk about them.
We can't wait to talk about people.
I don't understand. I've always tried to be a super nice guy and always try to be polite. I don't understand why. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like,
Because they come from the devil. It's okay.
I get it.
Sometimes it just happens, man. It just happens.
Hi,
Yeah,
my
it does.
mom.
Yeah, it does.
My
Yeah,
mom
no,
was
it does.
watching. Said,
Well,
hey.
we got Pastor Benito on there as well. We had
Hi, Pastor.
a very good time in church with him this morning. We had a wonderful worship service there.
Yes, that was so wonderful.
That's awesome.
God's spirit was so evident. I cried like half of that service.
Yep.
And then Pastor's message was absolutely wonderful too.
Wonderful. We had a fellow get saved
That's
this
awesome.
morning. It was
Yes.
a beautiful service.
Yes,
Beautiful.
it was wonderful.
Yeah, y'all had me in tears a couple times. I'll admit it. You did. The old eyes were sweaty this morning.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, we might as well go ahead and take around the table. John, you got anything to close us out with?
I don't think so. Just tune in next time. Oh, and if you got a good rumor story that you want us to read on the air, send it to either the Hillbilly Broadcast on Facebook or send it to, is it the Hillbilly Broadcast?
No, just hillbillybroadcast at AOL.com. You can send it to there. You can also send it to my personal, probably any of our personal Facebook messengers.
You could also send it through a voice message, but it would be a lot easier to have it typed out. That way we would get it all right.
Yeah, we can do it either way.
Unless you want your voice on the podcast. If you would
That's
like your
true.
voice on the podcast
That's
and have a little segment where you speak your 10, 15 seconds of the crazy rumor that's been said about you, send it to us. We'll put it on there.
You can also go to
Yes.
anchor.fm and send us a voice message through there if you decide. We will play it on the show for you there too. So
Yes.
you're good, John?
Yep.
Miss, you got anything to close us out with?
Nope. I'm glad everybody was watching. Did you want to do some of the comments? I know there were a lot of comments on there.
We did have a few.
Yes,
Kenny
my
was
brother
talking.
was kind
Kenny
of
was
blowing
talking about
things
the
up.
old girl that was knocking on the door. Said he should have asked her to come in and cuddle.
Oh.
I like
I think that goes with the rumor thing.
Teaser. The
Yeah, that's the
teaser.
teaser.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
not yet.
Donna said. This is my mother-in-law, by the way. Said, "Good to see others besides Phil. Thank you very much."
We are better looking. No.
I kind of like what John Hopkins said. He said it's the hillbilly purge after midnight.
That's exactly what it
That's
turns
what
to.
we're
gosh,
talking
yes.
about right there.
That's what happens in West Virginia after midnight there, John.
Do you remember
By the
that
way,
creepy
John
movie?
Hopkins is going to be on the show coming up soon, so
Okay.
Yes.
you'll be seeing
Yes.
him for long.
Nice. Do you remember
Absolutely.
that creepy movie though about like all the redneck people, and they were going around killing people?
I do. I can't remember. It's something to do. Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
that was off
it was
topic.
actually it was a reality show. It was filmed here.
He's talking about reality show.
I love it.
I just want to go on record. We've talked a lot about the rural areas and that there's not many cops in there, but I do want to go and say I would not suggest anybody going and poking around in any houses in the state of West Virginia
Heck
after
no.
12 o'clock.
Absolutely
I
not.
would stay clear.
Yes.
I would
Yep.
stay
There
clear.
you go.
And I would also give the same advice to those who have ill-gotten deeds in Indiana as well. The same thing. There's a lot of rednecks out there too.
Oh,
Man.
Yes.
Dude, there is some gun-toting fools out here, my man. I love it though. I love it. I do. I feel at home.
Yes,
I'm not
indeed.
sure I know any, so
What gun
There
toting
is quite a
fools?
few.
in Indiana.
Well, I know there's 3 of them sitting at this table right now.
But we're West Virginia. I'm just picking on Katie.
Pastor Benita said wrong turn. That's similar.
Oh my
That's similar.
gosh.
That's what it is.
Similar. No, that's
That's
not it.
another one that
those
got a headline.
Terrible.
They had like people impersonating like Ted Nugent was one of them. Another one was Bush.
Yeah,
What was
a
that called?
political movie.
It was a political movie
Yes.
where they were making fun and all the people they were killing off. The Democrats were killing off the Republicans.
I remember something
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
And it was awful. Like
was-
we actually
That's
turned it
messed up.
off.
It was
we
wacky.
We didn't even finish it, I don't think.
It was wacky.
It was awful.
Yep.
Awful.
That's messed up.
Missed you. You have any? I don't remember if I asked you or not. You got anything to close it out with?
No, you just went over the comments. That was just what I was asking.
Kana, what about you, buddy?
I think I'm good, man.
Mariah, you good?
I think so.
Well, we thank you for sharing the story about the house. That was glad everything turned out good. There,
Yes.
though. Glad
God
everything
protect
turned out
you.
good.
Yes,
Yeah.
us too. Us too.
That was absolutely evident.
We want to say thank you to Anchor for sponsoring the podcast. You can go to anchor.fm, and it's the easiest way to start a podcast. You can also go to anchor.fm/Phil Sparks. You can become a monthly supporter if you so choose, and you can send us a voice message there. We'll play it on the show. Don't forget, next week we got Sheriff Brett Carpenter, who was also with ASEBRA, Southern Extreme Bull Riding Association. He'll be on the show with us next week. If that's it, we'll go ahead and sign off. This is Hillbilly Broadcast, man. Another episode in the books. We love y'all, and we'll see you next time on the Hillbilly Broadcast.